Are we live? Hey guys, this is Bobby Clue with the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce. We are back at it again for another virtual ribbon cutting. We are out and about today, up the road here a little bit in Eubank, Kentucky. Brand new business, Eubank Veterinary Clinic. I'm here with owner, operator, proprietor, chief in charge, it's Samantha Stapleton, correct?
Yes.
So Dr. Stapleton, thank you very much for taking some time to talk with us a little bit about your vet clinic here. So brand new. This was this was a field right here.
Yep, brand new.
And now you've got this building. So tell us a little bit about your history and how you got into veterinary work.
So I was raised on a dairy farm here in Eubank, Kentucky, and I always wanted to be a veterinarian, and so I ended up going to undergrad at Lincoln Memorial University down in Tennessee, and then got into veterinary school at Auburn University.
That's the path, isn't it?
Yep.
We don't have a vet school in Kentucky, do we? So everybody goes to Auburn.
Yeah, they save so many spots for Kentucky students down there.
And do they have they send some here for something as well?
Yeah,
or?
I think it's like dental school or something like that they trade out.
Interesting.
So.
Because every vet I've ever talked to, I think it's Auburn is where they go to vet school, and then and they have a really good one. You know, that's the thing. So, you know, you grew up on a dairy farm.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who grew up on a dairy farm. That's hard work, and and a lot of people, my littlest daughter included, you know, when they're kids, I want to be a veterinarian when they grow up. Most of them don't do it, though. You know, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of school. You have to be really dedicated.
Well, sure, you know, and I'll tell you something. Probably an overwhelming need in our community, because I'm probably in the vast minority. I don't own any pets yet in our house, but everybody I know has, you know, 2 dogs and a cat and, you know, all these different things. And, you know, especially if you're on, you know, a dairy farm, or if you have horses, or if you've got those big things. So you deal with all animals, the little guys and the big guys.
See, everything but a spider. I draw the line at spiders.
That should be your tagline around here. We'll see anybody but a spider. That's pretty funny. So how does it work? So if I've got, you know, a dog or a cat or something like that, I just bring them right up here. Do we schedule an appointment in advance, or how does that work?
If you can give us a call, and that way we can get an appointment scheduled. That way you're not having a long wait or anything like that is the best thing. So just give us a phone call, 606-535-0037, and we'll get you taken care of.
Yeah. Well, say I'm a farmer here in town, and I've got I've got some dairy cows, or I've got a herd of beef cattle or something like that. How do we do that? Do you have to schedule a time, and do they have to bring them here, or could you go to them? How's that work?
So we can do a little bit of both. I do have some people who, if it's something small, like a goat or sheep or something like that, a lot of them will bring stuff in, horses as well. A lot of the cattle calls right now, I'm going out to the farm. So I do some farm calls.
Right.
I'm getting ready to have another building. I've got another building built. We're getting ready to put a cattle chute in there and pens.
Where do you bring on? Do you have a place in the back here?
It'll be right here in the front.
So this is where you take all the big guys at?
Yeah, that's where we hope to have our head chute and pens in. That way they can bring stuff here.
Then you've got tons of room here to expand a little bit too. I never knew how that worked. And you know, one thing I'll ask you another question about is that it seems like every animal I've ever seen, they don't ever get sick during work hours, you know?
Yeah.
They always get sick at 6 o'clock on a Friday. How does that work? Do you do after-hour calls? Is that something you don't do currently? How does that work?
So currently right now we're not doing after-hours emergency.
Yes.
I refer a lot of my stuff to Richmond to Advanced Animal Care and to MedVet for right now.
Gotcha.
So
maybe in the future that might be something to grow into.
Yeah, in the future that may be definitely something we grow into.
I understand. Doc, could we go inside and take a look at the new clinic? Would that be okay?
Sure, we'll do a mild tour.
Yeah, here, they'll get the door there, and you come on in here. And so, you know, the first thing I noticed is it's very pretty, it's very clean, it's very well put together. I would assume there's just a huge need. There wasn't anything like this up in Eubank, was there?
No, there was nothing between here or between Stanford and Somerset.
Sure.
So we're kind of the midway point for people. That way they're not having to go all the way either north into Stanford or south into Somerset.
Well, you know, I mentioned earlier, I think sometimes the smaller communities, you know, that are on the outlying areas or the edges of Pulaski County, they get forgotten about sometimes. And, you know, it's a lot of work when you have to bring your animals in, especially if they're sick and they don't feel like moving or going anywhere.
Yeah, they don't have to make
tough.
as long of a trip if we're right here in this community.
Absolutely. So, you know, this is a great ad for the Eubank community right here. So back here, you've got exam rooms and whatnot, and all the things I see.
Yes, we have 2 exam rooms.
Can we go take a look at one? Is that okay?
Yep. We'll go right through. Let's go into this one. So this is what our typical exam room looks like.
And when did you guys open up? How long have you guys been in business here in this building right here?
We opened on April the 14th.
Oh wow! So really new.
Yeah, brand new.
Still smells kind of. I can still smell the paint. You know. Well, that's great. I never know. You know, one of the most enjoyable parts of my job is getting to come out and see businesses and learn more about what you all do, because like I said, I never know, and I love to ask, and you and hopefully you don't mind telling us, you know, kind of what you do.
Ask away.
I think it's neat. So another crazy question, is there insurance for pets or anything like that, or is this mostly just like a service-based business where, you know, there's a bill at the end of the service?
It's mainly service-based. There are some pet insurance companies, but that you can look into, but a lot of it is you still pay and then they'll reimburse you. It's not how like our insurance works and everything.
So most of it's probably like, you know, annual checkups and things like that. You know, I mean, animals are just like humans, aren't they? They have to have. I remember having dogs as a kid. You know, you always had to make sure about ringworms and all the different things, and you know, you had to make sure that they got their annual shots and all those things. So those are things that people schedule and just come in and do annually or quarterly, or
we usually do annual shots and well visits, and then we do routine surgeries. We do some emergency surgeries and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So
you got the boss with you today?
This is the boss.
I've got 2
One
little
of my
girls.
bosses.
I've got a couple myself. I know how that goes.
Mommy, why is there cake? Why is there cake?
Go find my boss.
So let me ask you something. How, if people want to get a hold of you guys to, you know, schedule an appointment for their animal, or if they just want to learn a little bit more, do you have a website, Facebook page, anything like that?
We do have a Facebook page.
Okay.
We don't have a website currently. We're working on that.
What is that? Is it
Eubank Veterinary Clinic is what it is.
just put in Eubank Veterinary Clinic and it'll come right up?
Yes.
Okay, and then they can find phone numbers and ways to get a hold of everything's on there. What's that phone number again if they want to call in?
606-535-0037.
Great. You know, those are the things we want to make sure we know how to get a hold of everybody. So yeah. Well, listen, I really want to thank you for allowing us to come out.